Isn't it a beautiful story? But it is actually the real story that happened during Baba's divine play in Baradi when he was in Baradi Ashram, which is about 35 kilometers from Dhaka, in a remote hamlet called Baradi. It's a small cottage, and now a kind of a very, very important pilgrim for both Muslims and Hindus alike. Here, the story is conveying a particular truth, that if we have faith in God, if we have faith in Guru, if we have faith in Master, then one thing has to be kept in mind, and that is, truth has the ultimate power. And if the truth is again coming from the core of our heart, without any kind of duplicity or hypocrisy, then it is further strengthened. What Baba brought in the life of a common villager like that is not just a release, but imagine what this man had become after that. Quite naturally, he understood that Baba's word was the word of God. Obviously now you'd have such deep faith in this great master. You'd come to him again and again to have his company, to listen to his words, and all those tendencies of the lower instinctive mind of this man gradually and gradually would change, and then he would gradually get enlightened. This is exactly what happens if we have the good fortune of coming in contact with holy persons. What happens is that the light of that supreme consciousness, the light of that grace and blessings, once it penetrates into our mind, it starts to work in the deepest depths of our subconscious mind to cleanse that space. And that's exactly what the Sadguru's grace does, for bringing about a complete transformation from inside out. A true Guru always helps anyone who has come and surrendered. A true teacher would always reflect back to the seeker that there is no way that you can reach the truth other than readying yourself, preparing yourself day after day to be always treading the path of truth. And the truth is nothing but, once we start becoming conscious of our inner conscience, inside our heart, the right and wrong, even the man who has the least sense of discernment and discrimination, even such intellect which is grossly material, even then if anyone commits a crime, no one else may know it, but only that person knows that he did it or she did it. As a result, what happens is this: the moment such a thing is there in the mind of that person, today or tomorrow, it gradually and gradually takes that person to a state where the truth is compromised. The light of Sadguru's grace is really, really tangible only when you will see that from deep inside, your conscience is becoming brighter and brighter, and you are able to see the light of your conscience in every act of your life. You are becoming more understanding, you are becoming more compassionate, you are becoming more loving, caring, and all of this because now you are coming closer and closer to your own inner soul, your spirit. Your conscience again is the voice of your spirit. It's not the voice of the instinctive mind which can do all kinds of tricks with itself. The mind can be a conspirator to one's own self, but the soul would never. The voice of the soul is the voice of conscience. What Baba did, or that particular devotee did to this man, is to awaken that light of consciousness or that conscience and then send him to Baba Lokenath and ask for his forgiveness for the crime the second time he did. First, to commit the crime. Second, to take a word from Baba by lying to Baba, by lying to the teacher. Hence, this particular story has different dimension. It's for us to decode it. It's for us to go deeper into it, to find out how it relates to our life. Stories always remain in our brain much longer than anything, because the neuroscientists tell us that it's only the stories which can happen when both the two sides of our brains are acting together. The stories are imprinted in our brain much deeper, and it can be lasting for a longer time. That's the reason we remember the stories rather than, just as pure narration. So here in this particular beautiful story of Baba, what have we learned? It's very simple. If we have a teacher, or if we have faith in that absolute ultimate truth, then it's just good enough to tread the path of life in its most simple way, but observe certain very simple principles of life that will be true to our conscience, that we will be walking the path of this truth by being worshippers of our own conscience, worshippers of our own spirit, the worshipper of our own soul spirit. That way, what will happen is that we will attract the teacher to ourselves. We'll attract all that is good to ourselves. Because when the inner environment is good, only good is attracted. Like attracts like. This is a simple way by which we can continually bring the blessings and grace of all the masters of all faith traditions in the world to our own heart, so that we, the seekers, can gradually our heart, our mind, our spirit is enlightened with the light of those great masters, and our life becomes a source of inspiration for others too, while simultaneously enjoying the best of life's gifts every moment through every breath. Om Namah Shivaya.